In honor of the 16th Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. Wait a minute, really? 16 books? I mean, isn't the average book series around 3 or 4 books? Maybe 5 tops? In Harry Potter's case, 8 books. But 16? Wow, that's... I don't know what to say to that. Is that amazing or what? I mean... When is Jeff Kinney gonna come up with something original for once? That does not count. It's the same characters and the same story, just in a different perspective. As I was saying, in honor of the 16th Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, we are going to be doing a tier list of every single book to date, 1 through 15. And we will be doing it in chronological order, so we'll talk about the first book first, and the 15th book last. And going back to the Rowley books for a minute, I will not be including those for they are not part of the main series. Nor have I had the chance to read them yet. But without further ado, let's get into the video.
A few moments later.
Okay, so here we are at the tier rank thingy. Okay, so I've got books 1 through 15 on here, and we are going to rank them from best to worst, with S tier being the best and F tier being the worst. So, without further ado, let's get into it. First, let's do the original book. So, Diary of a Wimpy Kid will always be a timeless classic. The original is always a classic, but it's not quite the best, but it's a really good start. Yeah, you're going in A tier. Now let's talk about Roderick Rules. Best movie in the trilogy, best book in the series, S tier. The Last Straw, I would say A tier. Because, it's still really good. Not as good as Roderick Rules, but still pretty good. Dog Days, I would say A tier. Yeah, I'll go with A tier. The Ugly Truth, S tier. Because the lock-in scene alone was both funny and suspenseful. So, yeah, The Ugly Truth goes into S tier. Cabin Fever, I would say, goes in B tier. It's still a good story, and I was afraid for Greg. I was worried he might get arrested for something he did. So yeah, that goes in B tier. The Third Wheel also goes in B tier because, it's like I feel bad for Greg because he's a third wheel, Rowley has a girlfriend, and it's Valentine's Day, and, I just feel really sorry for him, Hard Luck, I would give, a C because, it didn't really appeal to me as much as the other books did, and honestly, I kind of just forgot the plot because it's been a while since I've read the book. I might have to read it again sometime. The Long Haul. The movie sucked. It absolutely sucked, the movie. But the book was better. I'll give it C tier. Again, not as good as the others, but still pretty good. Old School, F tier. Just because you tricked me into thinking that Greg was going into high school. If it weren't for false advertising, tricking me into thinking that Greg was going into high school, I would have given you a higher rating, but no. Double Down, D tier, because Greg was kind of a jerk in that book. I mean, albeit he's a jerk in every book, but he was especially one in Double Down. The Getaway was an improvement. I'll give that B tier because, it was really cool, especially the scene where the Heffley family becomes a wanted family in a hotel, That was pretty funny. The Meltdown, I would also give it a B tier because it was just, really fun with the snowball wars and stuff like that. Wrecking Ball, C tier. Not nearly as good, but still good. And The Deep End, A tier, because it's just a lot of fun with the campground, and it's just, And basically, even though it's kind of a repeat of the Getaway, it's still fun. Especially the climax. The climax was just awesome, where everything was just flooded. Wow. Okay, yeah. But this is my rating for the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section down below. And without further ado, let's get back into the summary. Okay, so I just took a screenshot of the tier list. So here it is. We've got, like, every tier has at least one book. So there's 2 books in S tier, 4 books in A tier, 4 books in B tier, 3 books in C tier, 1 book in D tier, and 1 book in F tier. Let me know what you think of this tier list in the comment section down below, whether you agree or disagree with this tier list. But whatever your response is, I really don't care, because this is just my opinion. You are entitled to your own opinion, and if you feel like a book should be moved up or down, that's your opinion. But yeah, that's gonna have to wrap it up for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next one.